What's up? So I just got back from watching Superman with my nephew, and I got some thoughts where there's a lot of parts in the movie that remind me of a very comic book ish Superman. So this one was directed by James Gunn, right? The last set was Zack Snyder. Justice League was Zack Snyder. I definitely will say this is without a doubt my favorite Superman thus far. I actually want to say that maybe this is top 10, if not top 15 super hero movies. I think the problem is why we cannot give superhero movies such a high score anymore is because we were spoiled. We had like 5 years where we got spoiled, absolutely fucking spoiled by Marvels with the whole build up to Endgame Part 1 and 2. Now, if we have a scale, we always have to put Endgame Part 1 and 2 as automatically S tier. Those are going to be forever the two best superhero movies that are probably ever going to exist. For me, my favorite, of course, is always going to be Blade because I'm a huge Blade fan. But if we're talking about overall sentiment, uh, based on like what the common people think, it's probably always going to be in game 1 and 2. Now, this is also, and forgive me for being kind of uh, quick to jump the gun. This is my favorite Superman film. This was by far my favorite superhero film. There's some weak points that don't get flushed out. Um, Number one, his relationship with Lois Lane is like super sketchy. Like the way they displayed it is like super sketchy. So I mean I don't know. Hold on, my mouse isn't working. Is my computer frozen? Fuck it. So yeah, like I just think they could have fleshed out that a little bit more. The guy that plays Lex Luthor, and it's going to be a bunch of spoiler warnings. So, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to know what's going on, don't watch the review. But Lex Luthor, the guy that played Lex Luthor, is the best Lex Luthor thus far. I would go as far as to put him in top 5 ever comic book villains. And I'm going to say it. He plays the role so good. The definition of Lex Luthor is a guy that is obsessed with Superman. And he plays that perfectly. There couldn't have probably been a better person to play Lex Luthor. The addition of Crypto um, was really good. Showing the cousin at the end and the cousin, dropping the dog off, whatever, picking the dog up was really good. Supergirl, that was pretty dope to see that. Um, I don't think, I don't think I really, I don't know if I really like the parents. They, they did a good job, but it just seems like they just did like a normal acting. Like the scene with him and his dad when he was like down, feeling down, and his dad kind of like cheered him up. Didn't really like it didn't hit to me. It didn't feel like great. You know what I mean? It felt like okay. I mean, is what it is. They were just like felt like normal actors to me. Um but yeah, so what else did I want to talk about? I definitely like this version of Superman way better than Zack Snyder's version. Um Both great actors, two completely different Superman. This Superman, it was really written to be way more human, way more emotion. Zack Snyder's Superman, nowhere near as much emotion and like um raw acting on screen as this Superman. This Superman, the guy that played this Superman, did a great job. Actually, was having a conversation with my cousin in a car and telling him that whenever he comes down to my cousin, my nephew, whenever he comes down to visit me, I like to take him to the movies. And the reason being is because like um for me the movies is very symbolic of like a time away from the real world, whatever problems you're going through, you can always get away by going to the movies, right? So like, you get a 2 hour break from life. And I feel like a movie's job is to keep you away from whatever you're dealing with for 2 hours. You pay your money, and then you go watch the film, and you're supposed to be relieved of like everything that's going on. This movie did a great job. So if I have to scale it, I can't scale it S tier. There's some moments that are like very flat to me with things that aren't flushed out, but I got to give it like A tier. Some people may say B, maybe 7. I say it's gonna be a strong 7.5 to 7.8. I can give it. Oh, I can give it high B tier. And like, if we're talking Supermans, I'm gonna give it A tier. If we're talking like comic book movies in general, I gotta give it like a high B tier. It just There are just some moments that are not flushed out where it seems like the writing just completely gave up. Like there's some scenes where they're just like they started something and then they just gave up. Where like they were explaining like Ultraman, explaining the clone. I think the alien that was controlling the barrage when they captured Superman, the barge, and they were like dropping them off and transporting them around in the pocket dimension. I think that was Marvin the Martian. I'm not sure, but um, I don't know. I think like I said, there's just some moments where the acting from everybody is great. It's just like the writing really drops off, and it's just like now the visuals were amazing. It looked good. Still kind of skeptical about the glass scene. Him being trapped and punching the glass out looked really weird because it was shot in like I guess some super new camera, 1000K type thing, and I don't know, just felt like it just looked like a normal guy punching out glass. It didn't feel amazing. But there's a scene where he's like coming out of smoke and the sun is behind him. There's two scenes like that, and when he's like going up, he's turning around, his cape look really good. So by far, probably my favorite Superman I've ever watched, and I collect Superman comics, so that says a lot. Definitely more of a comic book centralized version of Superman, whereas Zack Snyder's is more of a film version of Superman, if that makes sense. Zack Snyder kind of focused on that version, and then this version seems to be more visual, um, a, closer to source material Superman. But then again, two different actors, two different acting styles. The chick who played Lois Lane did okay. She really gave me the journalism vibe more than the girlfriend vibe. But then she came through at the end when she rescued him. Mr. Terrific, the actor, I mean, chef's kiss, perfect. Um, this version of Green Lantern, perfect. Everybody perfect. They're just perfect. This is the Green Lantern we wanted. We didn't want Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. All respect to him, amazing actor, especially when it comes to comic book movie roles. But we wanted this version of Green. This version of Green Lantern is the one that we deserve on film. Did a great job. I mean, even the scene where you're talking about the hypno glasses. I mean, dude, the movie is really good. Like I said, I only got to keep it in B range because of the storytelling. It just falls flat at some point. So, um, again, I think if I got to give Superman an overall, if I got to give Superman an overall rating, I can't give it S tier. I don't want to be too generous and give it A. I can't give it an A plus. So I got to give it a high B. Like if I'm gonna give it a high B, it's gonna be like an 88 or an 89. So if we're talking, I'm gonna be generous. I know a lot of people are shitting on it, saying 7, 7.5. I think it's an 8 to an 8.5. So that's gonna be my final score. I'm gonna say 8 to 8.5. So if you haven't seen Superman, go check it out. It's a great movie. But yeah, remember follow me on everything at theindylegend.com. Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, all that at The Indie Legend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.